Hello and welcome. I'm fast forwarding to the next song, This Being a Bear. Alright. And the servers are back, and I'm firing up Discord as well. So if you'd like to join me, discord.me/Samius. Do that. Pause some playbacks. Come on, come on. Oh, we got some viewers trickling in. Excellent. Excellent. Oh, hey, I got to turn my camera on if I'm gonna make hand motions like excellent. Whew. Did I actually not roll my daily dice? Guess not. I went ahead and I farmed up a D20 or D12. Sorry, it's probably not especially useful, but. I don't like that. I'm just gonna drink that now. Alright, so we... Oh yes, the awesomeness that is the server restart. I forgot. I've been not streaming in the first hour after a server restart for a while now, and then we done went and did it. Okay. Oh, so what do we want to do? We're 10, so we're looking mostly at 9s, right? Wow, no, we got a ton of XP that we skipped. Let's go work on Cult of the Six stuff then. I like Cult of the Six. Anyway, let's see. Get to the TeamSpeak, or sorry, the Discord. So I'm hanging out over in discord.me/Samius, specifically in the Dungeons and Dragons channel. Specifically on the voice. La 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 la. So a couple of things. One, I am still ill. The wife is probably iller than I am. My head is really starting to pound now. I may already have to change the lighting. Actually, you know what? I think I will before it gets more painful. So we're just trying to like take it easy, play some games, take a nap, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. So I'll adjust the lights real quick. Boop. I'll be right back. Sometimes it hits like a freight train. It's just like wham. Now I'm like lightheaded and dizzy. Whew. It's rough. No pant zone. Oh, so how's everyone's weekend? Good, I hope. I hope everyone's had a good weekend. Managed to kill off my D&D character last night. Well, mutants and monster minds. Mutants and monster minds. Mutants and masterminds character. And then I leveled prematurely. So I was thinking 49 was the last rank in this level. It is not. That's okay. So I have like the blue tint put in my glasses. I really think I'm gonna have to get a stronger pair. Ooh. Take your stuff. What did you give me? Gimme. Gimme, 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 gimme. Boo. Diplomacy and balance. Got this sweet melee power potion that we got out of the roll today. Oh, I forgot, as always. So currently we are level 5 Barbarian, 4 Bard, 1 Rogue. This will be a Barbarian life, and at least for now we have the Barbarian symbol again. We are heavy in the Vishanti Knife Fighter tree. And it is working out pretty well. What did I enter this quest on? Reaper 2 skull. Alright, so we're gonna have to be a little careful because I didn't bring a healer other than Ellery. I'm totally prepared. Yeah. Oh, super prepared. Alright, on the flip side, this is probably going to be the toughest part of the quest, so... we get through this and we should be okay. Ah, excellent. Ellery heals us, please. Also, Ray, welcome to the stream. Thanks for using that there old chat box. That there old chat box. The box of the chatness. Probably should have a helper. Probably would not have been the worst idea I've ever had. No, I'm just glad you're using the chat box. I get a lot of people who hang out, but they never say a word. They never talk in the chat box. That's what I was saying. Yeah. No, you're doing everything exactly right. 100% positively exactly right. I mean, on the other hand, you could always come into the voice chat. Ooh, did we get the key first thing? Oh man, that could not be much better. Ellery, come heal us while we unlock the guy. Kiss my boo-boos. Kiss them. I can't believe I didn't stop and get a bigger healer. Brain completely gone. So last night, I went to bed around midnight because I was tired and hurting. I had slept until 2, right? 2 in the afternoon. It was done by midnight. So I was awake for like all of 10 hours yesterday. Lay down. Sleep until 1:30. Couldn't go back to sleep. Got up. Watched Altered Carbon on Netflix until about 5:30 in the morning. Went back to bed. Tried to sleep to my alarm. So I'm a little woozy here. Oh, nice, good. Bring the Reaper on back. Come on, Reaper. So it sounds like from your tweet, Ray, you and I are in a similar spot, except my haziness is illness-induced, and yours is self-induced.
Yeah, this is all self-induced.
Oh, welcome to the voice chat.
Thank you, thank you.
It happens. It happens, though. I'm not gonna lie. I've been younger in my younger days, and I've had many a drink.
Yeah, I think this might be like the day I quit drinking, because like, holy shit.
Yeah, I didn't really get hangovers for a long time. And now I drink enough where I don't get a hangover. So like, imagine your worst hangover is basically my normal migraine pain. So now I drink to try not to feel that bad.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it. Alright, how are we doing?
I'm the opposite. I cut way back on drinking because calories and trying to lose weight, and that was where like a big source of unnecessary calories were coming from. So I cut way back on that. Plus, I started eating clean. So eating clean, not drinking. So the couple times I have had a few drinks since last summer have not been pretty, and this is like the least pretty right now.
Yeah, I mean that's those are all legit facts, right? Unnecessary calories, and especially depending on what it is that you drink. Like, I know
like
that
fruity girly drinks. So.
Girly drinks. So like, I moved to, when I was getting super hardcore on the paleo thing, to an agave tequila. So then at least the calories would be better, more easily digestible by my system. But I felt like that was just about as bad.
I switched to vodka shots.
Oh, you like the potato?
Yeah. Well, that, and it's fairly low in calories. So like, I figure like vodka shots are better than, you know, a double vodka and Coke.
I mean, yeah, 100%. The Coke is the killer part of that. Oh, man. Thought I was gonna die there.
We went out last night, and there was alcohol, and I felt kind of gross while drinking. But just kept going anyway, because that's what I do. And then, like, started sobering up and started feeling kind of gross. So I was like, ugh. So I went to sleep, and I woke up, and now I'm dying.
Yeah, you need to get those carbohydrates, or not carbohydrates, electrolytes back in you.
Yep, that's what I'm doing.
Oh, so did you hear about my terrible tragedy last night?
No, what happened?
So we were playing Mutants and Masterminds, which is like this D&D-esque superhero campaign rule set. And everybody knows I based my character off of the shit. Now my brain is melting. off of basically the hero slash villain of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., like the first Grant Ward for the first couple of seasons of that show. And the DM set a trap for me, and I thought I was being really clever by setting the trap off in advance. Like, coming clean with everybody in advance and just being like, well, we're going to do this because I think we can work this to our advantage. And, to, like, spy on everybody. And I went through all the proper channels, and the DM was going to let me, like, not screw myself. And apparently I answered the wrong question. Because my character's a true psychopath. I'm just like, you know, as long as I get my mission done, I don't care who dies, gets hurt, whatever. And apparently that was the wrong answer, so I got kicked out of superhero school. So now I'm about to become the chief villain of the campaign. So now I got to come up with a new superhero idea for next session.
That sounds like fun. I was wondering, I saw the tweet last night. I was wondering what that was about, but that sounds like it could be fun.
I don't know the rule set very well. Like, I can roleplay whatever, you know, but I have a hard time building characters when I don't understand the rule set very well. And I don't really want to learn another rule set really in depth anymore. I just kind of want to know enough to get by. So yeah, now I got to pick a new character concept and then try to get the DM to help me enough to actually build this character by next week. So I'm kind of thinking, or when I was going to bed, there was a short anime run on Cartoon Network in the way back called Scried, where basically people like summon these things out of thin air and they can like fight with them. So I was kind of thinking about cloning one of those guys, and I kind of like did a little bit of research for the DM. I'm like, well, it works like this, blah blah blah. Then I went to bed. The DM, apparently while I was in bed, texted me back like, yeah, it sounds like a fine idea. We can make this work or whatever. And I woke up from such a vivid dream. Apparently I was working on it in my sleep last night, as you do, you know. And apparently what I want to do is like a cross between... Are you a Buffy fan?
No, I've never seen it.
Okay, well there's a particular episode of Buffy that I highly recommend everyone check out called Once More with Feeling. It's their musical episode where basically one of the characters summons a demon, but the idea is that wherever he's around basically turns everyone into, puts them in a musical. So for whatever reason, some combination of that like popped in my head last night, and I would not let go. Like, oh, how great would it be to just be like the musical demon guy? So now I'm going to see if he'll let me play the musical demon guy. Also, we got to spread out these champions.
That would be amazing.
Right? Like, I think it would be really solid. Alright, Ellery, I just need you to heals me. Just keep me up, girl. Titan, welcome to the stream. Alright. Let's see if we can't work on these numbers a little bit. Apparently the answer to that question is no. So what's up, Titan? Woo. Oh, we're taking a beat. I don't think we're gonna We're gonna get this one. For once I have enough energy to stay awake past noon. Man, I'm having a hard enough time staying awake at noon. I don't understand why you're worried about staying up past noon. Alright. I guess we go for this champion. Just try to power through it. Oh, not so sure we're gonna make it. Ellery, heal me. Alright, I think we're okay. I think we're gonna be okay. Oh, we better be careful. Anytime we drop below like 100 hit points, I start to panic. Nope. Ah, damn it. Should have picked up that. Oh, she ran out of hit points. Or spell points. Urgh! What happened to Sage Heal? Well, she's like 4, so I have to let it go. Of course, no one's down here yet. So yeah, I don't know. I'm hoping that'll be interesting. I'm trying to come up with any, like, literally any other ideas that could be exciting for character concepts. So if you have anything, shoot them at me, Ray. But apparently I can't be the villain walking the edge. Apparently I do it good enough I have to get kicked out of the campaign setting. Cure moderate wounds, raise dead, divine power, hold person. Cure critical wounds, flame strike, turn undead, raise dead. I feel like I need somebody with big heal. I think the chunks are coming out hitting too hard. So since the servers just came back up, unfortunately a lot of the power we get from the ship buffs are not there. Does get aggravating. Oh, something that people may actually care about. I did go ahead and get this Nightforged Stiletto. When we leveled to 9. Which is actually working out pretty well. As long as we don't have to like switch weapons. Getting a junk call. To the voicemail with you. Well, my phone knows what I'm into. There's a new my phone. New story on Meghan Markle. Really? They go to church. Okay. Phone, I don't think you understand what story is. People going to church seems fine and normal even. Whew. What's this game, Fortnite? Apparently, people are getting huge Twitch bots or huge sub bots running through. Subscribing, I'm on board. I'll get a bunch of subs. I don't care if they're from bots or not. As long as the bots cash spins like everyone else's.
Do the bots though?
I assume so. It's highly likely Russia was responsible for poisoning Sergei and Yugi Sarpla in Salisbury, says Theresa May. Okay. Ooh, here we go. Here's some good news. Season 2 of Iron Fist. I liked Iron Fist. I know a lot of people didn't, but I did. I'm about halfway done with my first cup of tea this morning. I need it. I need the wake up juice. Milkman tweets out, do you remember when you created your account on Twitter? I do. Twitter anniversary 7. Is that 7 years ago? Speaking of the Milkman, I haven't seen her in this stream for a long time. Alright, let's try this S again. Alright. You kind of scantily clad for an evening of dungeon dwelling. I mean, you can go clubbing instead, girl, if you want. You know, once you're a drow.
More clothes club coming.
Sorry, what?
I wore more clothes while going clubbing. What's she wearing? A bathing suit?
Something like that. Something like that. Totally props.
Beach wear for dungeon dwelling.
Alright, excuse me, pardon me, does anyone want to talk about our Lord Jesus? No? Okay. Ugh. So many fire damages. So many damages that would be gone if our shit buffs were here. Oh, think how much better this build would have been as the right race. It's okay. Oh, that hurt. Oh, that hurt a lot. Oh, we're dead, right? No, yeah, we're dead. Get down here. Come on, you better make with a heal. We're gonna be dead again. Alright, let's get this guy killed quickly. Oh, still dead. And we lose again, right? 100%? Yep, 100%. Damn it!
Oh no.
Ship buffs, why? People who say the ship buffs are a crutch, they're right.
Oh no. Doesn't look like the resistances came back. I don't like being on fire though. Let's see, fire, acid, electric. No, we didn't get the acid right. Yeah. So, do you on your ship, do you guys have like a pattern to how your buffs or your resistances are laid out?
We do, and one of the officers changed it a couple months back, and it was up for like, I think like maybe 3 weeks before somebody went in and they rearranged it so that it was the old way.
I wish I had
Like
that.
I like we have a pretty non-dramatic guild, so this was the most drama that we've had in like several years. When somebody changed the layout of the guild ship, and then somebody went back and changed it again, and then that person got upset because they had wasted all their plat putting up ship buffs, and then somebody went and changed it again.
Yeah, there are times I have a hard time with the order of the resistances. My main thing is I like to make sure that the sonic one is down here on the end, and that the acid one is on the other end, because those, if I was really thinking about it, I'd put fire here. Like I need to rearrange them in such a way that they always work for me. Damn the rest of the people. I know, since Tobrel left, I've kind of been the guy who has to maintain all the shift buffs now. It's aggravating.
I think our guild's pretty good about it. When something runs out, people are usually pretty good about putting it back up.
I wish that... I mean, I don't mind doing it. I mean, I probably use them more than anybody. It'd be nice every once in a while to be like, oh, it's time to redo the things, and then... They don't.
I also know somebody who's organized their ship so the elemental protections are in the order that they're called out on Captain Planet.
I mean, if that's the way that you remember it, although I'd like to know which one is heart.
I'm not sure either. I think they substituted that one for acid, maybe?
Well, I'd probably Sonic.
Yeah, maybe. Because your heart sings. Blah.
That's right. Blah, blah.
I need to watch me some Captain Planet.
No. No, you don't.
It's been a while.
No, you don't. No one ever has to watch Captain Planet. The problem with Captain Planet is that theme song is so good at... reprogramming. It wiggles its way into your brain. And you'll find yourself singing it in your sleep. Excuse me. Those are the kind of things, when I wake up in the middle of the night and I realize that I'm singing a song in my dream, is when I'm like, no, too much. And the Captain Planet theme song is one of those songs.
That's almost amazing.
Oh god, it's like a nightmare.
I've never heard of people like waking up singing a song.
Oh my god, it's so bad. And again, it's just like, it's a song that's stuck in your head. So then as soon as your mental shields are down and you go to sleep, it starts going again. The Captain Planet song, I Can't Decide by the Scissor Sisters. Those are the two main ones for me. They get in there and they just will not leave. Alright, we're going to try this one more time on 2, and when we fail, we'll back down to 3. Though this time we have some fire resistance, so taking 3 shots to the face from the Scorching Ray probably won't kill us now. It just hurt us real bad.
I think my nuggets are ready. That's kind of exciting.
Is that a euphemism for anything?
No,
or?
I was going to make scrambled eggs because I like scrambled eggs when I'm hungover, but I don't have any eggs. And everything else needed preparation except for nuggets, so I decided to make nuggets.
Well, I hate to tell you this, but they also make powdered eggs.
Ew.
What are you talking about?
That just sounds kind of gross.
No.
Oh, that might be something I buy and put in my bug out bag.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the secret of a good bug out bag is that you use whatever you get put in there, right? Alright, where the shit did you go, girl? I'm burning to death, and you're standing here with the thumb up your butt. Let's go. Damn it! Now I'm in a penalty box. You can't heal me yet. No. I'm clearly not here yet enough to do this. Okay. It's fine. Sometimes you win, and sometimes you pound your head against the wall with a rusty nail in your penis. And
oh, thank you for that visual.
And you win less good. I actually had something in particular I wanted to discuss with you, but now I don't remember what it was. You really need a 5 gigahertz wireless card for your PC? You needs it? That's fair. He needs it. The real secret of being an adult is figuring out what you want and what you need are not always the same thing. And sometimes you have to get what you actually need, not what you want.
Budgeting, yo.
It's pretty important. I cannot stand being in a quest and then slowed when Dad runs the microwave. So what you telling me is you need to run a hardwire. So a friend of mine's birthday is today, but I'm taking a year off of Facebook, wishing people happy birthday. Excuse me. So I'm gonna have to remember to call him sometime, I guess. I'm doubtful that I'll remember. Have you ever heard of the term mud cricket?
No, can't say that I have. What is it?
According to Google, a mud cricket is a white girl who wears short shorts and cowboy boots and will blow anybody with a jacked up truck. They can often be found in the woods playing in a mud hole and getting banged on a tailgate. Usually they get passed around groups of guys like a hacky sack at a hippie festival.
Sounds about right.
I've never heard of this term before. Seems a little unfair in this new day of sexual liberation. But okay.
Like, I've never heard of the term, but I definitely know girls like that.
And I can say, as a young man, those girls should be lifted into high praise in our society. No? You gotta get me a jacked up truck.
Those girls are also usually liars, and they just start all sorts of drama.
That's fine. I can block people on my phone, I think.
Like, if you're gonna do it and own it, but don't lie about it. Don't try and create drama around it. It's annoying.
Alright, let's fire this back down one skull. Titan says, and the good men are starved of love this day. I'm not sure exactly how these two things go together, but I feel like that's a quote that we should definitely honor. Alright. We're back down in pansy mode. R1. Let's see if we're awake enough to do this quest now. We're experiencing a little bit of lag now, a little bit of delay. I'm noticing moving away from the target after I'm pretty sure they're dead. And then they die a little bit later when the damage locks in on them. Look, none of these guys are champions now instead of all of them being champions. Go figure. How much easier this quest is all of a sudden.
You could do it, put your back into it.
Yeah. Well, on one, I don't think I have to worry about. I've reached that point, I believe, that I have enough of the Reaper points that R1 is probably easy enough now that I don't have to worry about it too much. Occasionally I can still get gotten, but not always. Titan says, and by good men I mean ones who can show women happiness instead of their wallet. So I believe I'm probably gonna get on my soapbox for a second, and I shouldn't because I'm not one of these guys. I mean, I'm trying to support my family playing a video game on 10 subscribers a month right now. But hopefully this will build into the brand that I want it to. But I'm going to get up on my soapbox for a second. And people are welcome to tell me that I'm wrong. But a big part of the more I get to know my wife, you know, we've been together for 20 some years. Almost 20 years. The more I know that she would much rather be in a situation where my wallet was much thicker. And being the breadwinner kind of took a nasty meaning a few years ago. But in my life, it'd be a lot easier if I was a bigger breadwinner. So I think that there are definitely upsides to the quote-unquote gender roles, because I think some of these things are universal truths. What is it? Stereotypes? Is that the word I'm looking for? Stereotypes, or stereotypes for a reason?
I think so.
Yeah.
Also, like, fulfilling gender roles, yeah, as a breadwinner.
So, I mean, I think a lot of women are attracted to stability and status is part of what makes them happy. Again, from living with a woman now for almost longer than I've lived without a woman in my life, right? I can tell you, at least this one, her brain never stops worrying about tomorrow, the next day, the day after that, the day after that. Where I am much more like, you know, we got this. We're going to keep doing the things we've been doing that's got us to here. And then, well, if there's a problem, we'll deal with it. And then when there is a problem, I offer like 7 solutions, and none of those solutions are the right one. So then we just don't worry about it. I don't know. I think that I don't want you to get suckered in the wrong thing here, Titan, with the idea that financial stability is not key for a happy relationship, because it definitely is. Doesn't mean it's just your responsibility as a man, but
I think it's both partners' responsibility.
I agree. But at the same time, like, let me use an example. So some friends of mine, relatively young, just had their second kid, and they did the math, like the same math my wife and I did a long time ago, and they realized that the individual who had the lesser of the 2 jobs, that person going to work actually was costing them money for babysitters and stuff like that. Right? In my case, it was me. In their case, it's her. So now she is a full-time stay-at-home mom, and I have the feeling that they're going to be much better for it in the long run. So I think there's a lot of you know, it's got to be a decision that everyone comes to together. But I do think some of these traditional things would be best adopted. Whether or not it's one gender or the other, I don't care. But like, for me, oh, they see me. Alright. You know, I'm hoping that here pretty soon my wife won't have to continue doing her job that she hates. I don't know where you are, but stay wherever you were. Oh shit. Oh, I just got my hireling killed. Okay. I spent all that time trying to get my hireling far enough away from these guys that they wouldn't kill her. And instead I probably just needed to not leash back 1,000 times. I don't know. I also feel like I've allowed my wife to carry the water for so long. I feel bad. She's had to do all the heavy lifting.
I've honestly been single so long that I'm not sure what a healthy relationship is anymore. Like, there are things that I want, but there are also things that I know that I think I need from a partner, and also things that I probably won't tolerate from a partner. So it's, at this point, I feel like I'm better off being single until I figure stuff out and figure my life out, because I would be a horrible partner right now. Financially, I'm pretty stable, but I'm planning on buggering off to New Zealand in a year, so that's going to ruin any financial stability that I've developed for myself in the last year and a half. So, like, on that end, definitely should not be with anybody. But, like, I don't know.
So I would think that the right person would probably strongly help. Again, if you found someone who like was excited for international travel and I don't know. Again, I'm just a person who knows you on the internet, right? So I get to see the part of you that you want me to see. But to me, it sounds like you're probably less messed up than you think you are. I definitely think the idea that everyone's messed up, or that we're all messed up, to a point where we're damaged is a modern idea. Like, I'll say a lot of things to my other fellow parents when they ask or whatever. It's like, having a kid is scarring them in new and different ways than you were scarred. Right? But it doesn't mean that they're any more broken or damaged. But for some reason, right now, that seems to be the case. Again, for an example, a lot of my friends are younger than me. Not the defense guys particularly, but a lot of my other friends are younger than me. And every one of them makes jokes about how they're depressed and how they can't find meaning in their life and how life is worthless. I'm just like, but is it? Like, is it worse now than it was when I was your age? And don't think so. I don't know. And people came in, heard that soapbox, and left. Yup, too philosophical for me.
Oh, too philosophical. Moving on.
Yep. I mean, I know a lot of people blame other generations for things that are happening, but I really don't think you can do that anymore. Not really. Not and get away with it, as it were. Here's a random complaint about DDO instead. How come this D12 takes so long to fire off? Ooh, that's a bad meatball. I was not expecting to come around that corner and get a Reaper.
Because you gotta roll it first.
Yeah, but it seems to take like 30 seconds to teleport. It's way too long.
Is that the thingy from the event?
Yeah, it's one of them. Yeah, I'd done it enough last night that I had 100 things. I was playing it while we were playing Mutants and Masterminds. This is the wrong way, right? Yeah. I did, I don't know what, 12 runs or something in the 4 hours we played. Hey, don't set her on fire. I know you want to because she's hot, but leave her alone.
She also looks flammable in that dress.
Well, I mean, come on. Aren't most people really?
True. Although I have been seeing shirts that are like flame retardant on like a Kickstarter somewhere. That's kind of interesting.
Random topic change. Are you a camper?
Not a happy one.
Been watching, what the shit snacks? That's a lot of ouchie right there. Oh, there's a freaking tier 3 champion mother trucker, that's what's called. Oh, shit. We're dead again, right? Now we're probably way too far away to make it to the shrine. Yeah, 100%. Shit. So I've been watching a couple of YouTubers. A couple of Canadian friends. They have 2 different channels. And it looks amazing there sometimes. They're going out and they're camping. They're doing like wilderness challenges and the like. And that's not you? Because you're not a happy camper?
No, when I was 19, I was put in charge of running summer camps for a summer. And then the person who was actually supposed to be coordinating and organizing everything quit. So I became programmer, organizer, camp leader for everything. So I had to organize 8 weeks of summer camps by myself as a 19-year-old for kids who were 7 to 13 years old. And it was just, it killed any love I have for camping. It was 8 weeks straight of camping 3 days a week. So we would, yeah, 4 days a week. We would leave on Monday and we would come back on Thursday. And like every week there was a tent that week, a kid that forgot something. Or I would forget something because I was 19 and just learning how to organize things. So it was just like every week something went wrong. And it just killed any love I had of camping.
Hello Site, welcome to the stream. We have Ray on voice chat, which of course everyone can join in on discord.me/SamusGarobo. We're in the DDO channel. And we're discussing how Ray's love of the camping died at the moment. Sounds rough. Like, I could totally understand an experience like that, shutting it down. Do you think that there's any chance that a positive experience, a couple positive experiences could bring that back?
I think so. I think if I have a couple really good camping experiences where I'm not a supervisor and maybe it's just me. I'm actually thinking about doing that this summer of just me and my gear and going out on the lake by myself for a weekend and seeing if I like camping then.
Yeah, I've never been a big camper myself. You know, I mean, again, that's part of my whole problem with why I'm hoping to switch this tiny house thing, right? I like the idea of being outdoors and seeing new things, but at the end of the day, I want to go into my home, into my bed at night. But I do romanticize camping and doing this kind of stuff. And like I said, I've been watching these guys do it in Canada. It's so gorgeous. Not that there isn't areas of the United States that are equally gorgeous. It's just these are the ones that I happen to find that have an attitude the way I like it. Let's see. Titan says my mom, dad, and I plus a big dog got stuck in a camper one night. He got below 0 and it was dumping snow. Does that mean you don't like camping, or you like camping because you got to snuggle with your dog, your parents, and a camper? I got so frozen I had to sleep with my parents in that big sleeping bag. I mean, again, that doesn't sound like the worst thing in the world to me. Oh no. I'm just kind of excited to go up to Alaska in the summer. Drive back down through Canada and see some things. Try this shit again. Yeah, the wife actually mentioned that she thought maybe we have to get a big dog. Not in love with that idea. I like little dogs. Although I do want a big Irish Wolfhound. But I think that's going to have to wait for a long time. Alright. Big pandemonium guy. Couple of little shits, alright. would like to do more camping stuff. Tobrella's really gotten into it, I guess. More than I really would have thought.
Yeah, I've been researching some spots in Canada that won't be too clogged up with tourists, that I could go out there with my car and like just spend a couple nights out there on my own and see if I actually do dislike camping.
If you do just like camping?
Well, if I do dislike camping, I mean, I should give the old college try again.
Yeah, I know. Again, I'm hoping I like it. The few times that I have camped, I've been kind of on the fence on. Like the most fun camping trip I had. Girl, you better throw some heels. Oh, let's run out of hit points big time. Alright, there we go. I actually went camping with my D&D group back when I was in... I don't know, maybe this was like over the summer between junior high and freshman, so that would be grade, what, 8? Between 8 and 9, like going into 9th grade. And, that was probably the most fun camping trip I had, because I went out with my peers. We hung out, we did all sorts of crazy, you know, stuff. Just hanging out, playing nerd games. My way of camping, meaning disconnect from the grid or have a laptop to keep up on certain things. I don't know, to be honest. I know that obviously the bus will be hooked up with solar, and being you know, technology enabled is going to be key. Again, I'm hoping to continue making YouTube videos and streaming when applicable. But I definitely want to do a lot of videos and do a lot of like uploading things, continuously keep people entertained. Again, that's my goal. I want to be an entertainer. Do my best to live off that. Alright, let's see if we can just pull a couple of these guys and not all of them at once. I know they saw us. Doesn't look like it. Looks like we're gonna have to pull all of them. Sweet. I don't see like a super champ in here, so we should be okay though. It's just really the champions that causes a big problem right now. I don't think we're ready for the big jump from 1 to 2 on the power level of the champs. I think that's where we've been struggling. But I think for me, what I would like to be able to do is record, you know, when I go camping, record camping videos. You know, be like, hey, it's Samius, we're here, we're doing X, we're doing Y. Kind of just like hang out and do things. I also really like the idea of like live streaming that kind of stuff as well. But I'm also not that kind of guy that can completely unplug from the grid.
I think if I were like going somewhere by myself for a weekend, I wouldn't entirely unplug. Like I would have my cell phone with me, but like I would probably spend the whole weekend, like reading, hanging out, doing whatever I wanted to do, and being as unplugged as possible, but still checking in for safety's sake. And like, if I get bored, it's not like the end of the world if I look at my phone for a little bit, but also at the same time trying to disconnect and maintain that disconnect as much as I can and not being on my phone an entire weekend when I should be enjoying nature.
Well, and you're a paper book person,
Yes, I am.
and I've gotten away from that. Like for me, that's a luxury that I can live without. I mean, I do keep the occasional hardback book, but the majority of my library now is on my phone, or can be on my phone. Which is a little aggravating because there's some books that I would like to reread that are not available on digital. I'm just like, "Rawr!" Especially when it's like the first book of like a trilogy or something, but the second and third book are available for digital download, but the first book of the trilogy is not. Like, what kind of evil is this? Would I stop by a lake so I could do swimming? Well, I think for me, when I go camping, what I want is I want to forage. That's part of the thing. Like, I want to be trained to forage off of the land. Maybe not for everything, but I'd like to get a percentage of my diet from wild stuff that I could harvest. So, I mean, would I go fishing? Probably. But is it more likely that I would do some sort of fish trap instead? Yeah. I'm not very quiet and patient.
I would be okay with that. Like, for me, if I am going camping this summer, it's going to be near a lake. So, because I like to swim, I love water. So that's definitely like one of the must-haves if I do go camping this summer. But I'm okay sitting down and reading because I do like paperback books. But maybe, I don't know, it depends on if the fishing's good. But also, I don't eat fish. So I feel, and I'm not big into sport fishing. So I feel like fishing and traumatizing this poor thing and then throwing it back, I might not be okay with that.
Yeah, I would definitely. I do eat fish, so for me it would be fish for food. But I mean, it's not necessarily the most efficient way to get your calories. Like you're way better off, setting fish traps or snares or like just gathering wild edibles. But there's something to be said about just like dropping a couple of lines in the lake, and like you said, reading a book or listening to music and just like not being there until your pole goes crazy. But I don't think I knew that you didn't eat fish.
I don't like anything that comes out of water. So, fish, seafood in general. I say water, but you can basically just call it seafood. I don't eat any of that. It's yucky.
So, you and my wife are the same person. Good to know.
Does she like it because of not like it because of the flavor or because of the texture?
She doesn't like it because her mother has taught her not to like it.
Oh.
City, I don't know. She occasionally will try something from my plate, and then she usually decides she doesn't like it. I'm very skilled at foraging the wild grocery stores. I mean, that's an urban hunter if I've ever heard one.
You know what? Foraging wild grocery stores can be hard, especially if like you're like me, um, you're eating healthy on a budget, so you're couponing, you're looking for the best deal, trying to keep budget as low as possible, but trying to keep like the health content as high as possible. It's a tough balance. So like foraging grocery stores can be a pain in the butt sometimes.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I don't know. I'm one of those people that when I get sick, I eat really bad. Like really, really bad. And I've been sick this weekend. I've eaten so much crap. I think I've had breadsticks like 3 days this weekend. And normally if I eat like breadsticks at all, I feel pretty gross. But yeah, normally I'm a big red meat and like a healthy starch kind of guy. But yeah, it can be tough to eat healthy on a budget. Also, it's also difficult to tell people that red meat is in fact healthy, depending on what parts of it you eat and how you eat it. Oh.
I am definitely a meat and potatoes kind of girl, which makes up part of my diet. Like, before I tried switching to chicken and vegetables and other things, but it wasn't really working. And then I got back on, because I was craving it one week. So what did I make? I made like this healthy version of a shepherd's pie. And like through the week, I felt more satisfied when I was eating. I felt like I had more energy. And so I just started incorporating red meat back into my diet. And I feel better. Like, I'm more satisfied. I have higher energy. I feel better. And it's definitely in how you prepare it and what you do with it.
So City says most people find out red meat isn't that healthy when they get colon cancer. Well, there's a great scene from this week's or last week's Supernatural where Dean says, and I'm going to paraphrase here because I don't think I remember the exact quote, but he says something along the lines of like, if I die from eating bacon, then I've won. That's how I kind of feel. If you can prove that the red meat is what killed me, then I have gotten victory.
I don't think it's the red meat that will kill you. I think it's the crap that gets put into red meat.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. That's the big thing, right? Like, you got to be careful how it's processed. You have to be careful. If I could buy everything locally sourced, I would. If I could afford to buy a cow every year, I would. Or a goat, or anything that was locally butchered and I knew. It's part of the reason I kind of want to get back into hunting. So for those of you who don't know, I grew up as a hunter. I grew up not in a situation too far away from how Ray grew up. I was actually surprised. I always thought you were more of a city person than I was, but we both grew up about 15-20 minutes outside of the nearest town, which for me was a town. I assume for you was also a town, because Canada, there's like what, 3 cities in Canada?
Pretty much. I mean, I'm very fortunate. My family hunts. I'm learning how to hunt. I've actually started researching archery, to take archery courses, because I'm scared of guns, but I feel like I could hunt with a bow and arrow. But back to the point, my dad hunts, so every year I get meat that's organic, grass-fed,
Exactly.
butchered by somebody that we know and have known for years.
Exactly. I would like to do more of that. So Tobrell is trying to get into hunting. He's got a fantasy, I think, that so I'm gonna drop some hidden knowledge on Tobrell. Hunting the wild cow is very dangerous. You'd be surprised what a cow will do to you if you're not careful.
You clearly have never been chased by a pissed off cow.
cows, cows are pretty dangerous. I mean, you're talking about something that's, you know, between 800 and 1,000 pounds easy. Like, that's just mass. You get killed. They don't kill you for the same. They kill you because they're irritated. They kill you because a fly bit them on the ass, and then you get stomped to death. Like,
And they can move.
yeah, the cows are the real deal. Goats
And
are
also,
very
they
similar.
have like a herd mentality. So once one of them gets going, they all get going.
Yeah. But, so Tobrell's got this secret fantasy of making up for all the things that his family didn't get to do when he was a kid. Which is part of the reason why I think he's taking this sudden interest in camping and hunting and stuff like that. Because these are all things he didn't get to do as a kid. Where I'm like the opposite. I'm like, yeah, my kid doesn't have to go hunting if he doesn't want to. My kid doesn't have to go fishing if he doesn't want to, because I was forced to do these things as a kid. But now I feel like I want to recultivate these skills so I can do these things on my own. Where my son has never had an interest in these things, but now I have the interest in doing these things again. I feel like I have to recultivate my skills. But I've always been a terrible shot with a long rifle. I've always been a much better shot with a pistol. Which, I don't know if you guys know this, but it's really hard to take down a deer with your pistol. Like, you kind of need that long rifle.
Yep.
But, yeah, I don't know. I need to spend more time doing stuff. It's more of range, really, and accuracy. So it's basically, it's physics, right? The less time the barrel or the bullet gets to travel the travel under guidance, the more likely it is that it's going to veer off target. And to get a kill shot on a deer in particular, like, you have to really hit the lungs or the heart on a deer. So you're talking about trying to hit something that's like a 4x4 inch square, particularly on an animal that's got better reflexes and hearing and everything else than you, right? I mean, quote-unquote prey animals, for example, they are fine-tuned to not die to predators. You know, and I hate to say it, but man is the top predator. Like, that's our job in the ecosystem. If we don't do our job and keep the prey species in line, then the prey species get sick, they spread disease, they overpopulate to the point where, damn it, I want this collectible, gives it to me. And they really end up hurting themselves in the long run as a species. So as a top predator, it's part of our duty to I thought I saw one, to actually cull the herd, as it were. Oh, double? You gotta be shitting me. Double, really? Alright. Yeah, I had the feeling we were dead there. Hopefully our hireling will be safe. Jeez. What a kick in the nuts. I was not expecting double. Alright, girl. Daddy needs a raise. I hit the wrong button. I saw one, and I went in prepared for one. I did not see the other one, or I would have went in ranged. I don't know. Long story short, I definitely feel like more people need to hunt. More people need to know where their food comes from. Oh, this is where I wanted to take that res for sure. 100%. Okay, well, they're still over there with the finger up their butt, so that's fine. We can deal with this. So I'd like to unpack your scared of guns comment, though. Why are you scared of guns?
I'm not even sure. My parents said, like, I've always been afraid of guns, like, as far back as they can remember. And they remember back further than I do. Always scared of them. And, like, when I was younger, couldn't be around them, was terrified of the gunshot. It's better now that I'm older, and I had a friend, well, I dated him for a little bit, and he kind of made me go out and, like, learn how to shoot with him. So I'm less afraid now, but I'm still really anxious around guns. I don't even know why. There's not a valid reason. I shouldn't be. My entire family hunts. We have 2 gun safes. Like, I've shot 22s. I've learned how to shoot. Like, I have no reason to be anxious, but I still am, and I don't know why.
I mean, I think that's a fair respect. Are you sure it's... I mean, obviously you know your feelings better than I can. But how much of it is like a healthy respect for the tool? Like you said, if you got scared of the gunshot or something, like that makes sense to me. Like, especially like a loud, unexpected noise, particularly at a young age. How do you feel about fireworks?
Terrified of them.
Yeah, okay. I bet these things are connected.
That's what I think too. I bet, like, it's usually loud, sudden noises, and anything that creates a loud, sudden noise is just not cool beans with me.
I bet if you had a weapon with a suppressor, and that would probably help. Of course, a suppressor, aka a silencer, doesn't make it quiet, it just makes it less loud. But that would probably help. City says, I'm not scared of guns, I'm scared of me holding a gun. Hashtag clumsy. Again, that's fair. I think, especially right now, in the conversations that we're having here in the U.S., we have two very distinct groups of, well, I haven't had that problem in a long time. 2 very distinct groups of people. We have people who have no idea the understanding of a gun or a firearm. Shouldn't say gun, because gun is artillery. Firearms is what you have in your house. To quote Ben, make sure he's not here listening, or I'll get in all sorts of trouble. But like it for me, I think a lot of it's education and training, and I think more people should have some basic, like incredibly basic understanding of firearms. Right? Like I feel like everyone should be able to clear a gun and make sure that the safety's on, which basically means get rid of any bullets that are in it in a non-discharging manner, and make sure that the safety is on and out of the opportunity for accidental firing. Right? I also think everyone should have a basic understanding of how to fire a firearm in the event that they had to. At least the basics. And I think that a little bit of training would help alleviate a lot of fear. Now, a situation like Ray is describing, I have the feeling that there's probably some childhood trauma deep inside there. I mean, there's not just a zombie apocalypse, but there's plenty of perfectly valid reasons to want to be able to handle a firearm. I heard your ding, Ray. Go ahead.
Oh, I don't think there's childhood trauma. My mom thinks I learned it from my auntie. So my mom comes from a big family, but my one auntie helped raise my sister and I. We spent almost every weekend with her, from when we could be away from our mom. So basically, as soon as we stopped breastfeeding, we spent almost every weekend with our aunt. And my mom thinks I learned it from her because she's terrified of guns and she's terrified of fireworks and loud cacophony, basically. Anything that creates a loud bang, my aunt is terrified of it. And my mom thinks that my auntie passed that on to me because mom says for as long as she's known and aware, there's nothing that should create this fear other than having an aunt who's terrified of these things and helped raise me, and I spent a good portion of my time with her.
I mean, I suspect, what I would suspect, just kind of hearing the story, right, is that something probably happened, potentially where you're with your auntie, and your auntie had a reaction that was, again, trauma is not necessarily the same thing as, like, something bad happened to you or whatever, but, like, some sort of event, and maybe I'm using the wrong word, but, some sort of event where some sort of noise, something happened and she reacted in the way that you're kind of describing. You know what I'm saying? That's what I meant by trauma in this case.
Yeah.
So yeah, you probably picked up the learned hate behavior, but you were probably startled, and she probably was startled, and she probably freaked out, and then you freaked out. Let's see. Running around my level 12, Tempest Fist Andal, if you need help, if you want. I'm trying to run things a little under level, but once I kind of get caught up, I'll definitely hit you. How's that?
And going in with what you were saying about at least learning how to fire a gun and learning gun safety, I think everybody should know that. Because, like, even though I was terrified of guns at the time, when I got my driver's license, I still had to learn how to clear a gun, put a gun on safety. I had to learn how, because, like, my dad would put his gun in the truck for, you know, hunting, and then he would come back from hunting, he'd be doing something, and I'd want to take the truck into the city or take the truck into the town to grab something. So I would have to know how to go out to the truck and at least safely unload the gun or put it away. So I had to learn gun safety because I'm always around them. Like, they're there. And the way Dad puts it is, I never know when I'm going to have to use a gun and when it might be life or death. Especially if I'm with my dad and I'm out in the bush, if we're out fishing or whatever, and something happens to him and I need to use a gun for whatever reason and he can't do it for me, then I definitely need to know how to do it. But I'm really country, so that's kind of my situation. I'm not sure what other situations would pop up, but I think it's something people definitely need to know how to do.
So one of the things that a lot of people, again here in the U.S., talk about is that there's this quote-unquote rape culture where 1 out of 4 women experience rape, which comes from a poll that was really loosely defined, but it had a really bad statistic, so people kind of latched onto it, as you do with bad statistics. But so in my mind, especially if I had a son, and I've been trying to talk to my wife about it for quite a while, actually, I think women in particular, I think this is true for everybody, but I think women in particular should be trained to use a gun for self-defense, because it is a great equalizer, right? Like, biological men versus a biological woman. So typically, biological men have a huge, like, strength advantage. God, I hate stone guard freaking things. My DR is just so much. There's such disadvantage. Muscle mass, bone strength, structure, endurance, overall strength. all that stuff. So in the event that there is a assault or a threat or whatever, when it comes to physical ability, the only thing that can equalize male versus female is training and being better armed. So I think that a lot of women, where did they go? There's double champion methods running around. I don't want to get caught with my pants down. Where in the hell did they go? I'm not necessarily saying every woman has to be trained to use a firearm. Personally, I feel like it's a good idea. I also feel like everybody should be trained. In fact, I've been talking to Remington to see if he wants to get his carry concealed before he goes to college this summer. Because he's going to go off to college and I won't be around to protect him if he needs it. You know? And he thinks it'd be a good idea. I don't know anything about this this guy in particular here in my area that teaches it. Are you, yo, get him! Oh, you're dead. I'm dead again too. Wow, we've definitely struggled on this one. I need to take a minute, take a beat. Where'd he go? There he is. Alright, are we ready to give this... Are we ready to shrine and try to, like, remove all these death penalties, or should I wait? I know there's still one more...
Is everything dead?
There's still one more champion method around, but I can't find it. And of course this other high cultist. But he should be dead. Where's this damn method? I think I have so many death penalties now that I'm gonna be struggling. I mean, I am on R2, so everyone needs to keep that in mind. No, we're not playing in our normal easy go friendly mode here. So we can get this guy. Did I find that method? There he is. Nope.
Did it die or did it?
No, it must be this guy. Mister, I got 600 some hit points. Alright, we got it. Alright, she's sleeping. Let's see if I can't get... Oh! On our search item, see if that's... I thought you were shrining, girl. I mean, I was down with you taking a siesta. Real quick, why I said siesta and it made me think of it. Everyone needs to go to Netflix and watch this Altered Carbon show. It is super effing good. And, there's this super fine Hispanic woman in it. Super fine. I just want to make sure that they keep make a thing. I'm not all the way through yet, so I don't want to give any spoilers away, but it is super good. That's how my brain works, though. Like, I'll say something weird, and I'll be like, oh yeah, this thing is like full of super hot Mexican chicks. Don't forget to go watch it. Because I said something like enchiladas. Alright, can we... How quickly can we destroy this? Our double strike at 66% right now. Oh, this one.
I've been meaning to watch it. It's on my list. There are a lot of things on my list, like Stranger Things.
Yeah, I haven't watched Stranger Things at all yet.
I started watching Grace and Frankie this morning.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I'm partway through the first episode. Again, a little bit too hungover to really enjoy anything.
Yeah, I usually don't get a ton of time to watch a show. And it's definitely not the kind of show you can watch at the gym. Which is where I try to cram that extra kind of fun-ish content in. Is at the gym. But especially this weekend, being as sick as I have been, I've had a lot of time where I definitely could not be entertaining during the stream or whatever. Alright, I'm gonna shrine now. I think we've reached the point where I need all the power I can get my hands on. Yeah, I'm trying to get a bunch of stuff. I want to power up the melee power, because I think it's easier to get melee power, and then I can use weapon versatility. But, I don't know. Until I get enough points that I can get this tree where I want it and then start working on the barbarian tree, I don't know how much melee power I'm going to be able to cram in before epics. This is where I need to, like, spend some time talking to some of the more avid builders. Like, I'm a really good play a thing, make it feel like what I'm looking for, but I am not good at. Jesus, ow! It's got to be another one of those elemental reapers or champs, right? I'm glad I started backing up because I knew that was crazy. We're gonna earn this one, boys.
In it to win it.
Well, I have the feeling we're gonna reach a point where we're just gonna lose, but we're gonna try. I think we're all in trying to range DPS these guys down. Oh, come on, girl. Don't get broken. There we go. This damage feels ridiculous, doesn't it? No, damn it, girl. Your job is to heal me. Not run in there and go try to kill them in your awesome melee self. I'm feeling we're like 5 seconds away from resetting too. I don't know. We're level 10. Did I bring? I didn't. Dang it. It probably would have been a good idea to grab my other hireling, even though he does basically sit around and be on fire right now. Try to smash this and then get it back out. Mallory, can we put you just a little bit further back? All right. Jeez. Well, I have not considered carrying around elemental resistance potions for a really long time. But now I'm kind of thinking maybe I want to again. There's so much damage from nowhere, but the... Oh, there's Ellery. She's probably dead.
In this quest, it would definitely be helpful.
Any of the... Yeah, there she goes. And I think any of the quests with the freaking... all the methods. And that's not even like a thing that you can dodge. That last stack, I literally jumped around the corner.
I'm gonna head out and do adult things. It was fun hanging out. Later.
Sounds good. Have a good day. Alright. Let's be crazy. Alright, well. Oh no, we're definitely popped by the... Let's get out of here. Let's get back near the shrine. Alright, now we're at least close enough to the shrine. We should be able to res if we need to. I almost wonder if they, because they got Ellery, that they decided that they didn't need to get me. Let's try something crazy. Just go for the W. Whew. We died in the fire, boys, but we got the XP. That's what matters. Jiminy Christmas. What a beating. What was the Reaper XP on this quest? That was 474 Reaper XP. So had we just done Reaper 1, we probably would have gotten 300 some. Taking a heck of a lot less beating. Whew. Whew. That was a serious beating, folks. Let's see what the older bear feels like. Yeah, pretty bad. They look like they're pretty high levels. Very high levels. Alright, well, as always, if you'd like to join the voice chat part of today's stream, you're welcome to do so at discord.me/SamusGrobo. I need to get Samus bot to spit that out for me. I just haven't done it yet. I think we're going to try to do one more quest here, get to 2 o'clock, and then I think I'm going to try to take a nap. I'm wiped. Oh, that was this one, right? Yeah. Also, not that this is probably a very good idea. Range power doesn't really start to go until 20 or so. Yeah, that's what I figured. There's enough little range power pickups here and there that it might be worth it in the Barbarian tree. So this gives a passive 5. Not that we'll have 18 levels, but there's an extra 10. I think there's another 5 in here somewhere. So like you can pick up a few points. That's a little 30 run. Nice little 10 one. Well, that's part of it, right? Like that's part of where I'm getting some of the tomes from. I guess they're up here in special. Speaking of special, actually, we got a point. So there's another 5% double strike. Double shot. We've been waiting for that for a little bit. Deepwood Starker Tree is great. It also moves your sneak attack range. So like, and I think you also get some sneak attack dice as well. But it increases the distance that you can start sneak attacking at. There's a lot of good things about Deepwood. I say we can't get this finished. If we can get this chain finished, then I feel like I can take a nap in peace. Yeah, I don't think I've ever been to Core 5, though, on pretty much anything. The exceptions of Core 5 have been Sork Life and Artie Life. I think those are the only classes I've ever been pure 20 in. Since the system, anyway. I mean, that's not true. JavaBot was a pure barbarian. That was terrible. It was the worst. Ugh. Definitely the lack of sleep is starting to catch up to me. The wife is homesick from work again. She took off sick on Monday and today. Palms are sweaty. Welcome to the stream. Yeah. If you're gonna archer, you get an awful lot out of those trees. No, he's back. I don't think I've ever seen this guy here this much as I have today. Should take these gems too. The gems are basically free. Yeah, I do try to grab the YouTube chat as well as the whatever Samius bot repeats basically everything that people say in the other chat. So if you go back and rewatch something on YouTube, all the chat should show up as well, both in the video as it plays and in the chat box. So even if Samius bot is the one having to repeat everything. My big questions become, at what point is it worth it to start grabbing more like melee or range power, right? At 50%, it seems really good. But is it generally worth the hassle at, say, 20%? Gonna TR your warlock and never TR again. I love TRing. It is probably my favorite part of this game. Was the TR process. Now, will I still feel that way when I get all my rate or class TRs done? I don't know. Probably not. Oh, I can respect that. I know a lot of people who want to stay at in-game. I'm just not one of them. Alright, so this guy is a light reaver. That's awesome. Shit. Well, yes, we try again. That was great. I don't think our hireling healed us at all. I tell you, this 2 Skull Reaper thing by yourself is pretty rough. Also, apparently today is National Napping Day. For those of you who don't know.
For a ranger or throwing build, right? Range power is an absolute must.
Yeah, but at what point do you... What point do you see the payoff?
I start seeing a payoff in Deepwood Stalker by the time I hit the 4th floor. And actually before that, because you're already up at tier 5. And you've got 20% double shot before you even take the capstone.
Yeah, but now put that into level 10.
At level 10, you've only got about 4 range power. And it makes a difference. Like, no range power means poop as far as, you know.
So that 4 range power, right, should mean every time you do 100 points of damage, you do 104?
Yeah, my crits right now are ranged. With a level 10 bow, my crits are over 100.
Yeah.
And my normal damage is anywhere from, say, 35 to 60, depending on, you know, what I'm beating up.
So, for example, this crit with my ranged weapon. Crit again already. No, not going to crit again already. Let me find another guy. With the melee weapon, it's about 120. With the throwing, there we go, 113. So right there, I have, what, two melee power? So right now with the range power is 0. So is it worth that 1 action point? That's the question, right? Is it worth this action point to take weapon versatility now with 2 range power?
That's all on just on how you're gonna play, right? Like, okay, the tune I'm on right now is I'm going up to Tempest Free with him just because I changed him. All right, so he's only got 2 range power.
On what?
With the ranger I'm playing right now, my drow.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm following now. I understand. You used the word that I didn't understand.
Yeah, with my drow ranger, he's in the Tempest Ranger tree, okay? So he's got 2 range power and 0 melee power right now. I haven't figured out where I'm gonna put, get the melee from yet, but I haven't played a 2-weapon fighter in a long time. So
I just have to give you the appropriate amount of shit because you said 2. But carry on.
yeah, it's the Boston thing, all right. But on the other hand, I'm still doing with just 2 ranged power. I'm doing 130 point crits with a level 10 bow, and I'm obviously doing way better with my scimitars. You know, I'm hitting like 150 point crits and higher, and sometimes they're just one-shot kills. But I get all kinds of crit multipliers from being in Tempest. As
Right.
a range tune, though, you want to be in Deepwood stock. You only want to stay in AA long enough to say get paralyzing arrows if you even want to go that far. I go that far because I use the shadow arrows. You know, 5% more double shot. Right? And then you get 2 more points of dex if you're a dex build, if you're going that way.
Yeah, I don't necessarily disagree with archer-wise. If you're going to be full-time, if you're going to archer it up, it makes a lot of sense. I don't know about how this build is going to work out. What pisses me off right now, and you saw this, I think, the other day. This chosen one, you pick a dagger style to specialize in, 2 daggers or 1 dagger. And the 1 dagger gives you 20 melee power. But it doesn't count for throwing daggers, and I think that's a bug. I asked somebody about it on Twitter. I've yet to get an answer, but I think it's a bug.
Well, you know that they're changing. They're going to be changing that tree around very shortly, right? And
No, I don't pay any attention to stuff like that.
Well, according to Steel, they are going to be making it so that the only weapons that work with that tree anymore for the melee power are daggers and knives, basically.
Oh, they're going to get rid of throwing daggers?
No, the throwing daggers will stay, but you will not be able to use, say, shurikens.
Oh, well, that's fine. That makes sense.
It makes perfect sense, right? Okay, so the only thing you're going to be able to use in that tree really for weapons is throwing daggers, you know, and daggers.
Yeah. That doesn't bother me. I mean, that's the whole point. Right? It should definitely be that way. My problem is when, you know, you're going along the thing and looking at it consistently, the bonuses for 1 dagger, pretty much every place apply to 1 throwing dagger or 1 melee dagger, right? There's no real difference between the two, except for that 20 melee power. To me, it just feels like an oversight. But maybe it's not. Maybe they really did mean for it to be only a regular dagger. Also, real fast, I'm gonna change the topic for a quick second here. If you guys have not seen the DDO Puzzles app that my guildie Grim made for you guys, you should definitely check it out. And she added DDO Puzzles Stardust CO6. So I don't have to do the puzzle now every time. Because I would do that because I don't have it memorized. But now I know where to go get the answer. And you guys can too. Go look for the DDO Puzzle app. Puzzles. Go do it. It's worth it. It's good. It's got all sorts of good things in it. Alright. That was it. That's all I wanted to change. The rest of the topic I think is fair.
Will that app work on a Kindle? Or is it...
I think it's a Windows app.
Oh, it's a Windows app, like Windows 10?
Yeah. And I think it goes on... Let me ask her real fast. Yeah, I exclusively use it on my PC, but I'm asking her right now, see if she can answer that question of platforms real quick for me. City says you can also get it on iPhone and Android, which, if that's correct, then you can use it pretty much on anything.
Yeah, so I would have to sideload it on my Kindle. I need the bigger screen, you know, glasses and all that. But you know, I would have to sideload it to get it to work on my Kindle, because you know how Kindles are. They're kind of
Oh no, I can't get much bigger than this. Yeah, she says Android and Windows.
All right, so I can make it work on my Kindle. I can sideload it.
Blue.
Unfortunately, it's hard for me to read the phone, because I have to get another set of, you know, a set of reading glasses this next time around. So, you know, for me, it was easier.
I just told Graham she owes me $25 for running an ad for her app.
Well, yeah, you know, fair's fair.
That's right. That's what I think. I'm not sure why it's not on iPhone devices. I just don't think she's an iPhone programmer, so right now she's got it for the devices that she is comfortable programming on. Give me after big double strikes. Big double strikes. Oh, I don't know where she ported it to. That's why I asked. Boom! Shaka shaka. Look at that shite. That's 453 Reaper XP. This is a good one for Reaper XP. This quest wasn't that bad, actually. It's always the one right before this that's the pain. Here's an interesting tweet. The #1 killers of human beings in the 20th century was their own government. Yeah, that's the one right before that. That's the one that we really struggled on too. Think about that for a second, though. The #1 killer of humans in the 20th century was their own government. And that's people talking about Russia and the, what, 30 million people, or no, not 30 million, 10 million people killed there. Mao in China killing 30 million of his own people. Hitler and the Jews, 6 million people in the Holocaust. Think about that shit for 1 second. The #1 killer of people, 20th century, was their own governments.
Yeah, that's believable.
Something like 8 million people died of starvation in the Ukraine because of the government there. That's scary. This could be okay. I mean, I think I can wait for something better if I need a level 2 bow. Like, we have the level 4 bow that we use all the time. So that's probably fine, but this is kind of interesting bow. Oh, we should probably have this Quicksilver Cosk on now. We are doing enough melee attacking. Yeah, and I'm not wearing my trinket anymore that gives them melee attack speed.
what's your double strike at right now? I'm just curious because I'm in the Tempest screen.
Non-boosted, it's 21. But that's misleading because every time I rapid slash, I get 20% for 10 seconds, and it's a 10-second cooldown. So theoretically, it's 41% all the time. And I have enough boosts.
And that's because you're in the, you've got barbarian levels in Barb, right?
Yes, it is from a couple of things. Like being a swashbuckler gives me some double strike. And then a lot of it comes from the knife fighter tree. So Celery gives you 5%. This core gives you 5%. I think one of these things gives some more.
Nice. That could be an interesting mix, right? With a two weapon ranger.
It could be if you were going to do the 2-weapon fighting knife fighter tree. Like you might be able to double knife fighter, double ranger 2-weapon fighter thing. I'm not sure. Yeah, it could do that. I also know that there's one of the, I think maybe it's in here. I gotta go to another. I already picked a thing, right? Yeah. Let me go to the public area so I can look at the enhancements better.
Yeah, well, I mean, I just say it could be interesting, right? Like, the Tempest tree makes scimitars automatically be considered light weapons, so it puts your attacking, dex to attacking damage automatically, right? So I get full benefit from to both sides of the attack.
Again, I think if you're going to do it, you want to have everything be daggers. So double daggers would give you 20% off offhand weapon to make melee attacks. So between ranger and knife fighter, you should be well over 100% to make offhand attacks. Purchase of Soul says I have a 29 Tempest Ranger knife fighter. It's pretty strong, all daggers. Yeah, I think you want to be all daggers.
Nice. Yeah, I got a slice and dice. That's epic. And I think I got them in heroic too. Thing is I haven't played a Tempest in a long time, so like this is kind of an experiment in getting back into the hang of actually doing it again.
Yeah. Oh. Well, we finished that chain. I feel pretty good. Let's do the closing build review here. Because I definitely need to go lay down. It's just sick. I hate being sick. I'm not good at being sick. So the streaming for the next day or so will probably be really strange. Just making sure I get plenty of rest. Again, so yesterday I slept 13 hours before I got up. And then I went to bed early. And I took like a 90-minute nap. And then I got up and was up for like 6 hours. And then went back to bed. So now, from the last time I slept to now, it's basically been 4 hours. So I got like 4 hours of sleep since the last time I laid down. So I'm pretty wiped. But hopefully I'll be able to figure out my sleep schedule again pretty soon. So let's do a quick build review. So I'll get a lot of messages now from people wanting to know about my build and what I'm thinking. So I want to try to start and end the video with like just a quick rundown of how this works. Currently 5-4-1 Barbarian Bard Rogue. Pretty easy to tell.
We're going to be completely strength-based by the time we're done. And we're kind of working towards this combination of melee when we need to melee and range when we need to range. I'm hoping that we'll be able to transition full range pretty soon. We just got to get a few more feats to get that ranged attack speed up just a little bit more. And I think we can do it. The damage is pretty close. Especially once we build a level 10, 11, or 12 dagger, whatever. Or go run through the first quest in Ravenloft and go get the Ravenloft dagger. That's probably what we should do before screwing around anymore tomorrow or tonight. Go grab that on. If we have to run through it on a low mode or get some people in to help us or whatever, so be it. So the idea is that we're going to combine Swashbuckler with the Knife Fighter tree. So it's a Swashbuckler with daggers. The Dashing Scoundrel gives us an additional 10% double shot, double strike. We already talked about this 10% double shot, double strike over here. So that gives us a quick 20. And then we have, of course, an item giving us a little bit more double shot. But that can get changed and upgraded here pretty soon as well. And then we've got quite a bit of interesting damage. These on guard, or on point, or whatever it's called, eventually will probably get twisted out at some point and just go into more double strike here. Except that'll probably get turned into a double shot when that finally happens. And then our quote-unquote capstone of the Swashbuckler Bard will be Wind at the Back, giving us that little bit extra damage. Should be really nice. And then if there's room, we might take On the Mark, grab some more confirmed critical hits, but not super worried about it. Our main focus is going to be playing with this Vishanti Knife Fighter tree. Rapid Slash is really great because it gives you both a throwing weapon bonus and a melee weapon bonus. Obviously a ton of damage. The real question is going to be if this single Knife Fighter will work with throwing daggers, and if we can take weapon versatility. In our testing from previous lives, we did some Iconic. We just like quickly leveled to 15 and tried it, and it did not work. So unfortunately, I don't think that's going to end up being something we can get away with, but it would have been nice if we could have, that's for sure. So basically we'll just kind of go up this tree until we're content. And then at some point we're going to start twisting in barbarian stuff. Sprint boost, yes. Extra action boost, yes. Because the more we can run around with the double strikes and the memento strikes, that basically can get us over 100% double strike, right? So we're already at 20 standing still. This was 30. That 30 will stack with this potential 30, so that's 80. And then this Rapid Slash gives us an extra 20, which gives us 100. So 100% double strike seems pretty good. And then once you start working up this a little bit higher, I think there's some more double strike in here too. Yeah, here we go. At level 18, we can pick up some additional double strike stuff. I think there's another one up here somewhere. That's just even more all the time double strike, if I remember right. Then there's Whirling Blades, giving you an additional 100% double strike or double shot. So I definitely think that we could just be throwing daggers like crazy, just like. And then as we get a little higher, we don't have to worry about casting as many spells on ourselves, and we can just rage up, go completely insane. You know, the idea of throwing daggers. In our tests at level 15, we were able to get up to like, what, 50-ish damage a throw with a +4 dagger. and then critting for 130 pretty normally. We're already at that point right now. So, I think we'll be able to beat it. It's just a matter of getting our attack speed up.
Well, this is going to prove rather interesting because I'm going to watch your build, and then I'm going to make comparisons as I'm going, as I stay, you know, as a ranger, and see whether or not I want to, you know, multi-class.
Yeah, it's... I don't know if it's going to be the best, but I think it's going to have some really interesting... I'm going to go ahead and throw this in the bar right here for now. I think it's going to have some interesting play to it. But we'll have to see. Also, a lot of this Barb stuff, not all of it, but a lot of it does have ranged versions. So Blow by Blow has a ranged version instead of just a melee version. Like I said, the action boost can be double strike as well as double shot as well as double strike. Most of these things don't care. This is the only one that does care if it's a melee attack. Oh, and once we get to level 6 Bard, assuming we keep going to level 6, which I think we will, this will give us a lot more double strike as well. So yeah, I think we're going to end up with a ton of double strike, double shot. If we can just get that attack speed up just a little bit more. Right now we're just the base 10% attack speed bonus from our quiver, which is pretty slow really. 1, 2, 3, 4. As compared to like a shuriken build, they just be like so we just need a little bit more work.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, is a range build, right? Like, Gith he's at 69% double shot right now, right? That's just what he stays at. You know, but part of that comes from those filigrees, right? From, you know, from Ravenloft now, that you can just sentient weapon. And theoretically, I could add even more double shot, just with filigrees. Like, to me, more double shot is almost better sometimes than you know, an extra, say, 4 range power. I'd rather have an extra 4% double shot.
So, again, just to kind of, right now, doing nothing else besides standing still and auto-attacking this dummy and hitting the rapid throw, we're sitting at 46 pretty much non-stop. Like every 10 seconds we just hit that rapid shot button and we can just keep it at 46 all the time. Again, the action boosts are pretty easy to work in. So, and I don't know exactly how much larger we can make this if we were to basically recreate this trinket, but I think we can get it pretty high. So I feel like the damage is pretty close to where we want it to be. Of course, it would be better if we could find like a better throwing dagger, but I don't think we're going to get too much better with throwing dagger right now. If I remember right, the wiki does not have an abundance of throwing daggers listed.
Is not the Return to Sender a throwing dagger?
I think it is, and I searched for a really long time, and I don't have one in heroic. I just have an epic one.
It might be worth you farming one out if you're going to stay as a throwing build.
Oh, not very long. But it's also level 14, so we have time. But yeah, when we get to like 12 or 13, I'll be doing that quest and I'll be looking for assistance trying to pull this guy. Probably do it a couple of times and just see. But yeah, it'd be nice to have a paralyzing one.
Well, and it's improved paralyzing too, right? So the DC is higher than a normal paralyzing weapon.
I think it's just regular paralyzing.
Yeah, but I think it's still higher than the random drop paralyzer.
Probably. Throwing daggers. Let's just look and see what else is in the throwing dagger range. So chill chart is crap. Green steel throwing daggers is fine. Alchemical throwing dagger, it would be reasonable. Then there's Return to Cinder, and then there's a bunch of epic version of stuff. So yeah, there's not a lot of options outside of the Ravenloft dagger, which I don't see on this list. So the Ravenloft stuff is basically better than everything, though. For damage, anyway. Is it? Are they listed in here?
I'm still using my level 10 Ravenloft bow on Fist. He's and it's doing, over 100 points to crit damage.
Yeah. So the Barbovian weapon, which we could get now, and we will definitely choose Throwing Dagger, would be 1.5 weapon damage, 5 enhancement bonus, Undead Bane, which is whatever, Holy, which is good, Fiery, which is so-so at best, but the silver slot that we'll probably put the Ghost Touch on, just we don't have to worry about swapping anymore, and it's silver, so it'll be fine. I should be checking to see if we find, like, if someone lists any of these guys in the auction house, we should check every once in a while. I don't imagine that we're gonna see him, but never hurts to check. Yeah, nothing. I don't know. Long story short, we got to figure out what kind of sexiness is out there. Oh, here's a Mythic Weapon Boost 2 Grievous Blade. That's one of the reasons why I'm trying to figure out. Do I hunt these things for the bigger Mythic Weapon boosts? Like 4 doesn't seem like that big of a deal.
Okay, yeah, but at low level, a Mythic Weapon Boost is good. At higher levels, when you get up into epics, it's really not all that amazing, in my opinion.
It would be the basically same.
It's basically the same thing you get in heroics, right? In heroics, though, it means something, and in epics, 4 ranged power just doesn't mean that much to me.
Yeah, because these aren't good enough right now. Yeah, I don't know. Again, Stream Tom and I had this discussion the other day. Well, kind of. He was streaming and I was typing. And he said that in heroics, especially in Reaper-based heroics, the idea that sometimes you can get lucky and one-shot a thing is better than consistently having an idea how much damage you're going to do. Where I disagree, because I like the idea of going, okay, the odds that I'm going to kill a guy in like 4 swings by looking at their bar is more important to me, so I can look down and say, okay, am I going to win this race or not? Right? To me, that's the most important. Because if I'm not going to win that race, especially by myself, right, which is the only way I really play now, and I need to know if I'm going to win this race. If not, I need to get in a position to recover from that death that's going to happen. Where his mind, it's like, well, if I die, it's no big deal because I have 3 other guys that can pick me up. I just need the ability to potentially one-shot this guy, one-shot that guy, This way, if we do happen to get in a situation where we're overwhelmed, I might be able to take out enough guys just on a fluke that we can turn the tide of battle. To me, I think that's not what I want. That being said, the great thing about the dagger stuff is that your crit rate is so high that you can just do that.
Well, see, and I agree with you there, right? I want to know that I'm going to kill something and do it fast because I run a lot by myself. And generally I do. I mean, you've seen my other tune. And the 2 Tempest Rangers that I'm working on right now are turning out the same way.
Yeah. Like, this is even a life that I'm really considering putting on a Bloodstone. To kind of, like, shock people a little bit, I think. Because I'm usually not a Bloodstone guy. But this could be a life that I put in a Bloodstone. Because the crit range is high enough that I feel like this is close enough to consistent. 16 to 20 is pretty good. And then at 12, when I take improved critical, that will double from, assuming I continue to use the Night Forge Stiletto, which I don't know why I would switch away from it right now. Unless I move to completely ranged, which would be nice. That'll just be, let's see, what is that? That's 6 points, right? 16 to 20. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, that's 5. So another 5 would be 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11. So 11 and higher. Is that right? Yeah. So 11 or higher to do a critical. And that's times 3. Plus if we can work in a few of these on the marks. So, say, or just any other passive seeker. You know, that's a lot of extra damage. 18, 19, 20, 21, 20, you know, each one of these is an extra bunch of damage. So, we'll see. Alright, yeah, people are going to start taking off. I'm going to take off too. I'm going to get that nap in. We'll be back later tonight with more DDO, most likely. And I'm ready to fall asleep before I start making bad decisions. Thanks everyone for hanging out, and we'll be back before you know it. Toodles.
Alright, guy, peace. Enjoy your nap.